It seems like we are entering a huge new era for Hypixel Skyblock, including a lot of changes to a bunch of the core systems that have existed in the game, while also adding a ton of new content. So in this video, I just want to talk about this kind of newfound design philosophy that it seems like we're getting into, and just talk about the future of Hypixel Skyblock because it looks brighter than it has for many years at this point. In case you've missed it, we've been getting a ton of either updates or update information over probably the past 2 months in Hypixel Skyblock. Just looking at Alpha alone, we had Primal Dragons at one point here, and then we also had Glacite Tunnels, which is now out. We had the Hoppity's Chocolate Factory, which is now technically out, even though it's not open for another day or two here. And then also we have Mayors coming onto Alpha soon, and we have been getting a ton of information for the Foraging update. And this is information that we never get this volume of, ever. I mean, seriously, look at last year's update schedule, and you can realize that there was maybe like 3 major updates last year. We had the Rift, we had the Garden, and then we had Pests on the Garden. And if you combine those two, then it's basically just 2 major updates that we received last year. And this year, although it started off slow in the first couple months, it looks like it's going to be ramping up to an insane amount of content in 2024. But this content isn't just brand new things that are being added to the game. It's complete changes to a lot of different areas of the game that definitely alters how you're going to be playing, but it looks like it's going to be for the better overall. First, I want to talk about the Glacite Tunnels and the Crystal Hollows, because the Crystal Hollows is getting affected by the Glacite Tunnels because the admins seem to be pushing for people to be mining in the tunnels rather than going and just mining ruby routes and a bunch of gemstones in the Crystal Hollows forever and ever. On the alpha recently, there was changes to the Scathe Pet and the Bal Pet, both of these getting nerfs. They did end up reverting these nerfs and not pushing them with this current patch, but let's just read what they said. Changes to the Bal Pet are not going to be released alongside this update. There are future plans in place to take the stats that Bal would lose from its proposed nerf and re-add them to the game through other sources and as flat stats rather than the percent increase, but these plans will not be part of this update, and thus we deem it fair to delay any changes to the Bal Pet before everything's ready and tested. So just talking about that right there, the Bal Pet getting a nerf is a very interesting thing. The Bal Pet is a core feature from the Crystal Hollows. It allows you to mine like crazy in the Crystal Hollows, and they did nerf it on the alpha where it wasn't getting any percent stat increase. It was just boosting your pristine whenever you were in the magma fields and not increasing your mining speed, not increasing your mining fortune. Also, when you're looking at something like the Pendant of Devon, you can see that this is granting pristine well in the Glacite mine shafts. As I mentioned in another video, there's probably going to be a full set of Devon equipment that comes out at some point, and that's probably what's coming in that future update that they're talking about there. But it seems like they're really pushing for people to be mining in mine shafts, because mine shafts are going to be harder to get into, they're going to be harder to mine in, and it's not going to be as infinite and easy to just mine gemstones forever in something like a mine shaft. And this is absolutely huge for the Crystal Hollows. Crystal Hollows has been like the #1 money method for Iron Man players since it came out in July of 2021. So seeing that they're trying to focus mining in another area is just a very big change that I feel like a lot of people are kind of not noticing, because it's not just they're nerfing the Bal Pet. It seems like they're trying to nerf that and then apply everything to just go to mine shafts, mine in mine shafts. They're buffing fortune in there. They're adding events to there. So it seems like mining is going to have a shift where you're going to be doing different ways of mining than just the normal stuff. Next, let's talk about attributes and the Crimson Isle as a whole, because basically the only purpose of the Crimson Isle right now is to get attributes on a couple pieces of armor, and then there's some fishing. It's kind of a dead area, and it seems like it may become even more dead with the new hunting skill, because if you didn't see it somehow from like a Duralius video or something, they are adding adding attributes to a new menu that's going to be able to just apply wherever you are, and you're able to just use a couple of the attributes that you have in your collection rather than using attributes on specific pieces of gear. So if you have MPMR on your Aurora right now, it's not going to be on your Aurora anymore. They said they're going to compensate people for this, and they're going to change Kudra's loot in relation to the new system. But for now, these attributes are going to just become legacy and not really that useful. And if you grinded 1010 on like a billion sets, RIP Future 77, you're kind of out of luck. I cannot imagine that they're going to compensate someone like Future 77 who has 1010 of like every single set really well here, but maybe they will. Maybe it's going to be some great compensation, but it seems like the Nether's attribute grind is going to be completely gone, which leaves this island in a completely different spot. Mayors are also getting a change, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be that substantial of a change where it's like, this mayor is going to become irrelevant. It looks like they're going to be balancing some perks, adding some new perks here and there, and then it looks like the ministers are just going to offer like one of the mayor's normal perks whenever they're voted in as a minister, rather than just all three of the perks that they would have had if they get voted in as mayor. So this is not a huge system change, but it is still a core system of Skyblock that is changing. All of that tagged on with the huge news of the foraging update. I mean, they were talking about so much stuff there. There's god temples. There's a bunch of new trees. There's a new type of damage that you have to deal to remove shields. There's a whole lot of stuff changing right now that I'm honestly just under the belief that we're getting like 1.0 soon, because it seems like Skyblock is releasing a ton of content, way more content than normal. And it's also making sure that all the systems in the game are working as the admins are intending for them to work. They're working on making things balanced and making things just feel good in every area. And I'm honestly super hyped for it. I can't really call this like a golden age of Hypixel Skyblock until we really see what something like the Foraging update is actually going to play like, but assuming that the Foraging update goes well, this summer seems like it's going to be a great time to get into Hypixel Skyblock. We're probably going to get another update to the Glacite Tunnels soon. We're going to get mayors soon. They'll probably go back and rebalance Primal Dragons and release that to the main server at some point whenever it goes on to alpha again. And we're getting the biggest update of all time probably with the Foraging update, because the Foraging update, if you forgot, is going to bring it to a modern Minecraft version. And that's going to bring a whole suite of new mobs, new blocks, new features, new things to do on Hypixel Skyblock. It's a great time to be a Skyblock player. We lived through 2022 and 2023's content drought, and now we're getting some rain in 2024. We are getting some content, and it is awesome. That's basically all I wanted to talk about here. Let me know down below what you guys think about the trajectories that we're going on with updates. Are you excited for this new content? Have you been playing things like the Glacite Tunnels? There's so many things to talk about in Skyblock right now that I feel like I'm doing a disservice by not uploading that much. But if I'm being real, it's just because I'm so excited that I just can't wait to play it. And that's when I really want to talk about a lot of this stuff. But that's going to be it for this video. Hope it kept you informed, and I will talk to you in the next one. Peace.